Girl, we done finally made it to part 3 of this reunion, and Marlo goes on an apology tour so she can secure her peace for next season. Is y'all ready to talk about it? Cue the music! Oh yes, bitches and hoes, I'm back!
I'll drop a player like it's nothing, it ain't working out. Now no debate or for discussion, bitch, I'm walking out. My time is money, I ain't loving, let you toast it out. Flip my weave and walk it out, look how I just bossed it out. Now come on baby, why you bugging, we can't talk it out. I keeps it moving, I ain't tripping, lost another spouse. I'm just a boss, it's in my blood, no I won't scream or shout. Grabbing my keys.
Cause oh yes, bitches and hoes, I'm back. Back with another video. We're here to discuss Real Housewives of Atlanta season 14 final part 3 reunion, girl. All I got out of this is every time they held Marlo feet to the fire, she apologized. Girl, we tired of seeing it. We don't want to hear it. We don't want to see it, and we don't want to find it. Just do better, Marlo. They gonna bring you back. Don't worry about it, Fat. You got a lot going on in your life that they could tap into. They gonna bring you back. You ain't gotta go on an apology tour. Let's get into the episode. So the episode opens up, girl. Sheree and Drew is on the phone with Anthony, and I don't know why. Because he really just causing trouble between the both of y'all. And it's just tiresome at this point. But he claimed he don't remember saying all this and that and all this and that. But he admitted to basically saying that he did say Ralph was, you know, G-A-Y. Now, Andy's whole question to Drew is, you just heard him on the phone saying that he admitted. Why are you taking that out on Sheree versus the actual or Fatum or whatever the case instead of him personally? Drew tap dances and does the Macarena around this whole doggone subject. Oh, because she's the one who brought it back, because she's this, because she's that. But Drew, you slow. Because at the end of the day, if you really was that upset about the rumor, you don't go to the people who carrying the bone and be more mad at them than the person who actually said it. He the one going out there spreading the rumor about y'all, and you still employ this dude and still talk to him. I'm confused as to why you holding Sheree's foot to the fire or feet to the fire, but not his. Does he have some tea that you don't want to get out, so you just don't want to say nothing? Because, you know, I'm starting to believe when Anthony said Drew just needed a storyline, I'm starting to believe that. And I'm believing that because it's just baffling me that she has so much, you know, horrible thoughts about Fatum and Sheree and not the actual person. So I do believe that she was like, Anthony, I need a storyline. You know, give me some tea or something I could say, because the word on the street of Sheree not paying her bills been going on since the show started, girl. Girl, that's been since season 1. Y'all ain't said nothing nobody else ain't said. So I was confused as to why she was so reluctant about checking Anthony. I think that's why. I think she was reluctant about checking Anthony because they together came up with something for Drew to talk about. Because we all know outside of her made-up relationship issues she put on the show, she ain't got nothing going on. But anyway, basically, Drew pulls her attention toward Sheree and, oh, you don't pay, she don't pay, blah, 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 blah. We already knew that. And it's just like, why do you keep bringing this up? They go back and forth, her and Sheree, and she was like, I actually got a DM of somebody wanting to expose your sex tapes for a cash app or some of the case. And like Sheree said, expose it. I'd like to see it. I would too, I ain't gonna lie. I'm just saying. But the fan asked Sheree if she feel a way about people saying that she don't pay. No, she don't feel a way, because she been not paying for the last 12, 14 years. No, duh. But she claimed, she was like, you know, it be having me a little, you know, whatever, but I ain't really doing no tripping. Girl, Sheree don't give a damn about that. And then here come Drew, she don't pay, because look, she couldn't even give me half the money on a $30 cake. First of all, let me start here. Like Sheree said, girl, you do too much. I didn't sign up for all that you had going on, girl. It was supposed to be a gathering of the girls, you know, get a couple of drinks, you know, get some wings, you know, stuff like that, girl. You did an extravaganza. I didn't sign up for that fact. But then secondly, it's just like, Drew, you bought a $30 cake. I wouldn't even say that. I feel like that really fell flat. Like, you bought a $30 cake. It's starting to make me feel like Sheree feel like you are trying to buy friends. I believe that. Because Drew don't give me the tease of the girl who has a lot of friends or is very known outside of her, you know, accomplishments. But I mean, like, on a regular, you know, regular schmegular, like she got the girls just pulling up. I'm with Sheree on that. But Sheree say you trying to buy your friends. Drew was like, I'm just an investor, and she buy Sheree because you ain't never pay me back. Girl, well, where is the fashions then, Drew, since you an investor? We need to know. Let's move on. The fans asked why the girls felt like they didn't understand why Drew would be upset about Fatum looking her up. They all say, look, we get it. Nobody said she shouldn't have been upset, but it was just misplaced, displaced anger and aggression. She should have took that shit up with Anthony, not with us. They ain't got nothing to do with us. That's all on Anthony. Anthony the one going around saying your husband likes the cookie cutters. Not us. I mean, we did say it and kikied about it, but girl, you got to take that up with Anthony. So now then Andy asked her why she used the bone prop. And she was like, well, I'm an actress, so, I bring out my props. And they said Sheree, or who that was, did a tweet saying that, oh, she bring the props from the movies she didn't get, girl. I ain't lying. They start talking about how she hurt herself on the trip. They say he felt bad for that. She was like, I didn't want her to, hurt herself. Sheree actually even still stopped by and go see her. And, Drew was like, I didn't expect that. So shout out to Sheree for that. Listen, y'all can get along. Just get along. And let the Anthony dude go. Because Anthony is the one who's doing all the BS. Anthony. That's how we say it in New Orleans. Anthony. You don't say Anthony. Anthony. Anthony is the problem, fact. But then they asked Drew about how she feel about Ralph's gaslighting and blah, 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 blah. Girl, we'll talk about it later. Let's move on. The men come out, but before they come out, girl, they was back there giving, what's his name? Ralph some shit about him being a gaslighter. And for the life of me, I didn't understand why he's just figuring that out. But the men come on out. Ralph and Ross is in white. And Todd is in black. Now that I said it out loud, Ralph and Ross, I'm with Todd. Y'all his backup singers, but they all look good. Listen, Todd's beard, I love me a good beard. Todd looking handsome. If he wasn't so little, Todd is looking handsome, girl. He's looking handsome. Like Andy said, boy, what is the end game for the beard? He said, I'm going to be like Moses. Stop acting crazy. But the beard looking good. And Candy had to say, oh, I be playing in it. Girl, didn't you say y'all have a good sex life? Let's move on. So, Andy then turned around and asked Ralph, if he knew somebody who could give a good massage. And he was like, I got a few people. Drew looked back and he was like, but my wife has to approve. Girl, these marriages be fake and phony, girl. It's giving fake and phony. But they asked Ross how his reunion or first reunion compares to the Super Bowl. It don't. Ross sitting there looking like a piece of Hershey's Kiss. And he said, it don't compare. I can't really prepare for this type of thing. You can't, Ross. But, strap up. I believe they're going to have Sam your back. But Andy notices that Todd and the guys are close. Even to the point where when the girls arrived, the guys was already in the lobby drinking 6 o'clock in the morning. Now, Todd, didn't you tell us you wasn't drinking? You did say for a little while. Maybe your time was up after the Jamaica trip. But you should have just had you a drink at the trip, fact. But Candy was like, she didn't appreciate him drinking in the lobby at 6 o'clock in the morning because he is a representation of her. Go ahead on with your masculine, I am the leader. Okay, yay. Use a representation of me. Don't be out here drinking 6 o'clock in the morning. In New Orleans, girl, they drink till the sun come up and after they come up. So it ain't nothing to us. But I guess y'all in New York, girl, they got stringent rules and all that. So Ross and Ralph say they don't let the wives get in between their relationship. Like, whatever they got between them, we don't get into that, And that's what I love about men. That is what I love about men. Men aren't emotionally attached to nothing. Like, my wife hates your wife hate my wife. We see it on Married to Medicine all the time. Toya and them girls get into drag out fights. And the men still be chilling at the cigar ball. I love that about men. They asked him about the blow up in Jamaica. And he said, he wasn't trying to do all that. He just wanted to let the girls know, leave my wife alone. Y'all not about to play on her head top. So then they also, well, he did say he wanted to de-escalate the situation. That's what he was trying to do. And with cackling hands as women, we all know that sometimes somebody got to slap their hand on the table and say, enough, niggas. Enough. I'm with Ross on that. Now, they asked him about how he felt about Kenya calling him aggressive. He said he didn't think it was the right words. And he's right. Because what we do know, especially in this climate, words like aggressive, words like fearful, words like antagonizing, gaslighting, all those are trigger words, and it don't matter if you're a man or a woman. But a lot of times when it's a woman saying it about a man, it can trigger a lot of things. They could have went on a whole Ross campaign behind her saying that. And I feel like at the time, Kenya knew what she was doing. She did. She said those words, particularly and purposefully, because I feel like if if somebody would have been calling her aggressive in a scene where she actually was aggressive, she would call that out real quick. So I feel like Kenya knew what she was doing when she said what she said. But Ross said, I ain't really too particularly care about that, or care for that. And then, Kenya was like, well, I was wrong. Shout out to Kenya for being wrong. She was like, I shouldn't have said that, and I apologize. And I actually love how Ross stuck up for his wife. Because, Kenya ain't never had that. So I listen, I see growth in Kenya. Kenya, to me, is now like, don't push the button. Don't push the button. Because if you push the button, I can't say what's going to happen, after the button is pushed. However, I'm going to figure out how to be a better, more even playing field Kenya, with everything else. I'm here for it, Kenya. Go ahead on. Now, it's Candy's doggone package in her EGOT. She only got a Grammy, but she need the E, the O, and the T, girl. Okay. And then we start talking about her Tony possibility because she has this new thing. What is it? Her new show is gonna be piano lessons or something like that. Shout out to Candy. One thing Candy gonna do is get a coin and she gonna work. Shout out to motherfucking Candy. But Andy brings up the fact that he was shocked that she doesn't want Todd to remarry after in the event of her untimely demise. Why is everybody so shocked about that? Because like she said, typically, and I've seen it, especially in New Orleans, let me tell you how it go, girl. Because Candy had the same stuff happen with her grandmother. Girl, let me tell you something. I know one of my friends, she married this man. Now, I'm not saying that this how it happened was wrong, but this is typical. She married this man. Now, when she married this man, he owned the house. His children were adults. They were out on their own, but she married a man who owned the house. So she moves in with this man. They were together. She took care of him until he died. I'm talking about to the very last second. And right after that, the churn came down there and said, yeah, you got to go. Now, this is the worst part. The house that the churn came down there and said, you got to go, wasn't even for the wife that some of their mama was. It was for a wife. He was married to a wife prior to them. So, I don't know if I'm making it make sense. So, I'm saying this to say, when it comes to marriage and owning property, I'm feeling Candy. Because Candy's whole thing is, I don't want to have a situation where somebody else is benefiting off my hard work. I'd rather my kids do, but not another woman. Everybody should understand that. I get it. Some women just like, well, I'm gone. No. Nah, if we ain't had no kids, I can understand, whatever. But if I got children, I'll be damned if you won't eat off my kid's plate. Ain't gonna do it. Like she said, he could go be with somebody else. I just would prefer he don't get remarried. Candy put that in the doggone clause. If he get remarried, he revoke all rights and all property and all that. Or it all go to the churn. That's all you got to do to make sure he don't get remarried. But it happens all the time. If I'm married to this man right now today, and we buy a home, and we have 4 kids, and then we split, God forbid it's my untimely demise. Now, my kids gets my portion of the home. If my husband then goes on to remarry, and then he gets another wife, and then she has kids outside of him, she gets half of whatever half he has. Now, when God forbid he dies, her kids get to come in and make decisions. Like, hold on, fat, y'all ain't grow him. How that girl, how Akbar said, y'all ain't grew here, y'all flew here. What the hell? I'm with Candy on that. I call it selfish, call it what you want. I'm sorry. But shout out to her saying what she said, and she said what she said. The piano play lesson or play piano lesson, whatever it is, y'all go check that out. We found out Ty redid the condo. He did. So whenever they go out there to New York to do their their Broadway stuff, they're gonna stay down there at the condo. Go ahead on, Candy, for coming back around. Shout out to you. Shout out to you. So then Andy asked Andy asked Ty how he felt about Marlo basically trying to say he be out here in these streets. Ty said everybody said that. Hell, Mama Joy said that, but ain't nobody brought no receipts. It is what the hell it is. I ain't doing no tripping. Then they start talking about Marlo basically spreading rumors about Candy's cat. Marlo apologizes again. Marlo, we tied. I mean, just on it, standing in the eye, said that. Was it wrong? Yeah, I'm apologizing, but that's it. We tired of you, girl. Just own your shit. You said something about Candy's cat. That's what you did. Candy's cat was talked about out your mouth, and it wasn't in a positive way for Candy's cat. So because you spoke about Candy's cat, why don't you just own it, girl, and stop going on this apology tour like Andy ain't gonna give you another peach. You gonna get another peach. Don't worry about it. You gonna get another peach back. Just own it. Don't do the apology tour. We don't want to see it. We don't want to hear it. And we damn sure don't want to find it. Standing on what you said about Candace Cat. Stand in Candace Cat. Y'all get it? Anyway, but yeah, like she said, girl, look, everybody I know, all the men I know, I feel like all men cheat. So I said what I said. I apologize. You apologize again. We don't want to hear it. Let's move on. We move to the next scene. Drew's package. Drop it with Drew. Her losing 25 pounds in 3 weeks. We all knew that was cappity cap. The massage girl and writing the book. This man writing the whole book, and Drew don't know and didn't know nothing about it. So they come out of the doggone flashback. Even the Dr. Desai was in there. So they come out of the flashback, and a fan asked Ralph if he really fired his assistant. He claims he did. I don't even know if the girl ever even existed for real. But he said he didn't like the way he looked on camera, and he apologizes to his wife. Ralph, did you not see the way you looked on the first season? How is it that it took 2 seasons for you to be like, man, I really do look bad? Because you looked at just as bad, if not worse, the first season. You know how when you bought the house and signed the papers without Drew being there? Hence, therefore, making me know that Drew name ain't on the paper, if that really true happened. She ain't on the deed, because she got to be there to sign the deed in order to be on the deed. Ralph, why did it take you to the second season? Was it because the internet was lighting your ass up, and now you have to come back and say, you know what, Drew, my wife, I apologize. I really look bad on camera. You did. You actually been looking bad on camera since you got up here. But she's accepting it, so if she like it, I love it. Another fan asked if he should have, or if the guy should have laughed about his text. Ross said the shit was a laughable moment. It is what it is. I said what I said. Todd said, you know, he feeling however Drew feel. He don't want no smoke. He ain't want nothing to do with that. All right, we move on. Fans asked Kenya if she want friends to step up to Mark the way that Marlo basically jumped on Ralph. You should have, but she said as long as they come talk to me first. For what, girl? It's an in the moment thing. When they see you getting took, dirty, they gotta jump in and say, Mark, you a bitch ass, blah 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 blah. Because Mark looked like he ain't never had a fight. You know what I'm saying? It would have been easy to come up, run up on Mark. Girl, please, they gotta talk to you before they book your man. That's not how that goes. You just book the man and ask for forgiveness later, girl. No, not to mention he been doing you girl. Anyway, but she said, yeah, just talk to her first. So, before you go in and cuss her ex-husband or her current husband out, because I don't even think they divorced yet. Another fan asked why nobody said anything about Kenya confronting Ralph. But yet, everybody jumped on Marlo for confronting Ralph. And, Kenya feels like that's something completely different. It really ain't. A fan then asked why Candy and Kenya came for Drew and they did a flashback. They didn't really think they did, but Drew says it hurts. Because I really thought you girls would support me with dropping with Drew. And you didn't do that. And, like Sheree said, girl, it ain't even that deep, girl. We just was trying to find out what the hell was going on. Because you was telling a lot of lies. We had to go snooping to find out you don't even own dropping with Drew. It ain't even dropping with Drew. You wasn't forthcoming about the information. And like Andy said, well, nah, they got a point. Drew, you don't think you should have been a little bit more honest about what was going on with your drop it with Drew? Well, yeah, I could have repackaged it a little different, but at the end of the day, I have that was something for me to help uplift ladies. No, that's not how you packaged it, Fat. You said it was a weight loss thing. You even used the 25 pounds in 3 weeks as a selling point for the doggone fitness thing. Stop the cap. But she said it hurted her when Sheree said her body looked like a can of busted biscuits. Sheree said, you know what? I did say that. I'm wrong. I shouldn't have said that. But I was going off the whole drop it with Drew thing. And what's her name? Drew said she done lost more weight. She ain't gonna say how much, but between 15 and 20 pounds. Girl, we don't care. You do look good though, Drew. You look good, but we don't really care. And then they asked Ralph how he felt about Sheree spreading the gay rumor. And here we go again with Ralph basically putting the onus on Sheree and not Anthony. I feel like for me don't understand that. I mean, you knew I wasn't gay. Like Sheree said, how the hell I know you ain't gay? I don't believe it, but I don't know for a fact a damn thing. The hell? It's giving y'all crazy. Y'all crazy. Like Sheree said, look, I didn't bring the rumor around. I just brought Fatum around who brought the rumor around. That's all. But, it ain't even that deep. But Sheree ends up apologizing and say, look, it wasn't me, it was your assistant. That's who you need to have that anger toward. Now, Drew says Sheree should focus on she not done yet. And let me tell you, I went on the site, and I'm going to stop Drew when she start lying. She ain't done. Girl, the site wouldn't even load up for me on my phone. Now, maybe I need to log in on my laptop, not this one, but the real one, on my what is this? Because I called it a laptop so much, a doggone iPad. Maybe I need to log in on another device because it wasn't devicing for me. I'm sorry. It just wasn't. Yeah, she ain't done yet. That was a good one, Drew. Shout out to you. A fan asked Ralph what he would have done to change the way he acted during that dinner. You know, the one where he left Drew crying. And he said, you know, I look back, I didn't like the way I look. Here you go again. And you know, I would have understood my wife and tried to talk to my wife. Blah, 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 blah. Somebody else asked Drew, why is she always bringing a moment down when it's a good moment? Because she want clarity from this lying ass nigga. That's why. Why y'all acting crazy? That girl, you know, she getting gaslit. So now another fan asked how Drew felt about the fact that her husband is writing this book and she ain't know nothing about it. Now Ralph tried to say she did know, and Drew said, oh no, I didn't know fact. I didn't know until you brought me out to dinner after you had done signed the deal. This is my thing. How the hell you gonna write a book about my child and don't tell me? I know how, because he knows that she ain't gonna tell him nothing. He knows that he gonna be able to do what he want, manipulate her, and she just gonna, you know, take it. That's why he could then double back and have the balls, the cojones to say, can you write a forward for it as well? And she go, I don't know if I'm comfortable. You wouldn't even read her lines from the book. You had to hear it with the girls. I'm confused, but he does listen. A man gonna only do what a woman allow him to do. Men will tell you that. If he's doing what he's allowed to do. Now you can go in your apology to her talking about you do your wife dirty and you don't like that people say you gaslighting her, but at the end of the day, like Andy said, you keep everything from her. And you do. You ain't full coming to your wife or with your wife about nothing, but then Drew, that's the relationship you fostered, because did you not tell Sanya she should please her husband and do everything her husband wants, because if you don't do it, another woman will? That's why you over here in the dark. I keep hearing footsteps, baby, in the dark, oh, in the dark. Yeah, Drew, that's why you in the dark. Light a candle, bitch. Let's move on. Todd then comes out and say they're gonna do a doggone a tour, and he gonna talk about being a stay-at-home dad, because he is, because we know Candy is the breadwinner, and then how Ralph is a stepdaddy. Now Andy asked a good question. He said, what would you have done if Drew would have said she didn't want you to write about her son? Because, you know, she could have very well put a cease and desist on that. But see, Ralph don't have to worry about that, because he knows his wife ain't going to check him. Who going to check him, boo? Let's move on. It's Marlo and Candy package, and they go back and forth, you know. And they asked Todd, after coming out of the package, how he felt about basically Marlo saying that Candy fucks under beneath her tax bracket. And then Todd said, hell, everybody on this stage is under her tax bracket. Touche. But Marlo did point out, not Andy. I ain't gonna lie. So then he asked her about the Michelle Obama thing. I'm not her. You go low, I'm going to hell. And she apologizes to Michelle Obama and said, I'm not there yet. I don't think most of us are. I don't even know if Michelle is really there. I just know it was cute in the speech. But shout out to Candy for her apologizing. So now the fan asked Marlo why she won't say that Candy don't do nothing for the community. Marlo on her other apology too again. I was wrong. Candy does a lot for the community. I shouldn't have said that. Girl, whatever. Then they asked Sheree why she feel like Candy wasn't a friend. And Sheree was like, well, I felt like she wasn't a friend because she didn't tell me about the rumor that Drew was going around telling me I don't pay. She don't pay. Girl, we all been knew that. What is you saying? But Candy quickly reminded her and said, wait a minute. You ain't tell me when Kim said I was trying to lick the box. So we even, girl. What is you saying? I guess ain't none of y'all real friends if you ask me. Todd said, well, we already said he talking about everybody below her tax bracket. Fan asked Marlo why she jumped on Ralph and came for Todd, and she's on another apology to her, whatever. Now Marlo asked Todd who she paid to get in the circle. Marlo, you bringing this up, so let's talk about it. Todd said, I ain't say you paid nobody, but I mean, you did pay for your own way to get there, your own hotel room, woo-de-woo-de-woo. Andy jumped in and said, well, she didn't pay for the hotel, but she did pay for her plane tickets. I think it was smart, because now she got a peach. It took her 15 years, but it don't matter. She got a peach. It was a good investment. It was a great investment if you ask me, because she gonna get that plane ticket money back tenfold. I mean, it makes sense to me. But that's just my opinion. So now they ask Marlo, do she think that Kandi not worldwide? Marlo goes on to try to explain this, and it's not that I don't think Kandi is worldwide. I do believe Kandi is worldwide, but we run in different circles. So if I'm in Paris or Milan and we going to the fashion girls, Kandi not gonna get in like I could get in. Now let me tell y'all something. I know y'all hate Marlo because y'all like Kandi more or whatever, and Marlo has her reasons for you to hate her, but she wasn't lying when she said that. Like she said, if I'm trying to get into the hip hop or to the music world, you would have more access. I am with the girls in fashion. So when I go to Paris, I get special access that you wouldn't get. Look at Kenya. That's not true. Kenya, how you know? And then furthermore, we ain't never known Kandi to be the fashionista. From the beginning to the end, she came on wearing BB. I know, because I had a couple of them outfits Kandi had on. No shade, no tea, because I shop cheap too. But I'm just saying, y'all acting like Kandi really could open her air, everybody doing. She can't fat. She can't. Marlo tried to explain it, but you know, everybody already on the side they want, I'm sorry. Andy brings up the fact that she brought the chicken to the airport and thought that was a good move to get Kandi to be back friends with her. And Kandi was like, you know, at the end of the day, I had to let it go because Ty let it go. That was the reason. That was the real reason. But like, how am I gonna be mad at this girl and Ty not even mad? It just didn't make no sense. Marlo apologized again, talking about she gonna show action moving forward. Girl, hurry up, because we don't want to see it. Let's move on. The last scene. Andy wants some positive takeaways from this doggone reunion and from this season. Sandy said that she needs to put push the small things past her, you know, put the small things behind her. Like, no, don't sweat the small stuff. Drew said it's hard to be vulnerable and ask the ladies for grace. Girl, we still don't know if you ever told the truth about nothing, so you get no grace. Marlo says she'll think before she speak. Please do. You know, I had somebody tell me that. Somebody was like, you know what, before you respond to somebody, count to at least 5. And you know, that works. It saved me a lot. Kenya, her takeaway is her resilience and say you can come back from anything. Girl, come back from the divorce. Kandi said hers is, bitch, I'm worldwide, as you should. Sheree said being an OG of this group, she realized that this group of girls was the most fun. And that they genuinely wanted to be there to support her. Shout out to this group of girls. I don't think this is the best cast, in my opinion. I feel like there's a lot of people y'all need to bring back. Can we get, what's his name? Apollo up here so we can find out the other half of Phaedra's story and his new old lady and all that, and him settling his beef with Kenya. Can we get him up there? You know, him and Kandi and them don't deal neither. We need to get Apollo back up here. You can bring him back. I was gonna say send Kandi home, but we need her here. Bring Portia back. Let Portia come back so we can all call her a whore and a Jezebel. I say bring Phaedra back. I know Kandi don't want to film with a girl, separate them. I say bring Phaedra. I'm sorry, bring her back. Bring her back. Shit, you need to bring Nene back. Quiet as it's kept, because it's getting a little dry. But anyway, Sheree's final words is, you know, I got a surprise for the girls. She by Sheree will be available in September. My summer, spring, or spring, fall collection, or whatever, it will be on the Andy says, so you mean we're going to be able to go on the site and click the button? She said, yeah. Here we are, September 26th, and you can't click the button. Child, let me find out. Yeah, so she bought out a rack and gave Andy some stuff, and Andy put it on. Listen, Andy is here for the girls. Shout out to Andy. Andy put the sweatshirt on and kind of like endorsed it. I think that was good. So that was the end of the doggone season. Y'all, I hope, just don't bring back the lame girls. I don't want Eva. I don't want Claudia. I don't want, I don't know. Bring back a couple of friends of the show. Let Shamir come back. We like Shamir with Portia. Bring back a couple of friends. Let, what's her name? Monietta. Get her on the show more active too. We need, because, she had a little doggone confessional. Let's get Monietta back up here. Get her up out of here. No, get up in here. You get it? Anyway, that was the end of the episode. Y'all drop down in the comments and let me know what y'all thought about this week's, or this final of season 14, Real Housewives of Atlanta. Please don't forget to like, subscribe, hit the notification bell. Follow me on TikTok, and I'll see you hoes later. Bye.
Mr. Karen. How you give the voodoo doll time to talk? I don't get no fucking time to talk.
Who the voodoo doll is?
The nigga you just had up here.